Chelsea's in Austin, Texas. Hey, Chelsea, your question for Dr. John.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I am the owner of a medical spa, have about 63 staff. We do $8 million in revenue each year. My older sister works for me, and the vast majority of the time, things are really just wonderful. But every once in a while, she will get upset with me, typically regarding something in our personal lives, and it's not something that's addressed. I don't even know she's upset with me, and she doesn't communicate about it. And then she will treat me passive-aggressively at work. It could go on a week. It could go on 3 months. And then at some point, she decides to drop it and then acts totally normal, and we just move on like nothing happened. And I'm just would love to break this cycle, and I'm curious how I could possibly address this with her.
Does she work for you?
Yes.
I think you have to have this conversation direct, because here's the deal. The rest of the other 62 of your staff members are watching this interaction as a cue for how to treat you.
I do hear you, but let me just add one piece. She kind of runs her own little, it's very unique in our business, her own little operation over here under me, and we don't have to interact a ton. And when we do interact...
No, that's an escape.
It's your sister, Chelsea.
You're being a coward.
It's your sister.
Do you think people see this?
Oh, they all see
Bro. Yes.
It has a stink on it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse. Listen, I can handle aggressive, passive aggressive. Oh, that one pisses me off. No. So,
yeah. I find myself just...
If anybody else in the building was doing this, you wouldn't put up with it.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely not.
That means it's not okay. And Dave, just so you know, I've seen Dave and his other family members who are coworkers here. They're aggressive. It's awesome. There is no passive aggressive.
I would love that. I would love to deal with whatever the issue is at the moment.
Okay, then you have to lead. You have to lead. And you made the decision to hire a family member, which means the stakes are higher and the conversations are richer and harder. But that's your job.
Yeah. When he says we're aggressive, what we're doing is we're arguing about which play to call to win the Super Bowl. We are not mad at each other from something at home and brought that to the office.
Absolutely.
That's not tolerated here. We don't do that. We set that boundary a long time ago. And so while everything's cool, you need to sit down and have a discussion and set some new guidelines of how our working relationship will be. When we're at the office, I'm the CEO, and this is how the CEO gets treated. Right, John?
100%. Yes, sir. And you're handsome, sir.
It's so interesting because we've worked together 13 years, and she has never, ever questioned anything business-wise. She totally respects me, never, usurps my authority or, tries to manipulate. It's incredible. But when it comes to this personal side she gets something frustrated about, it's really wild. And it would probably cost me $500,000 a year in profit if I have to.
Hey, Chelsea, I'm going to challenge you. I don't think you're correct.
Okay.
I guarantee you with 99.999% certainty that she has gone around your back in your leadership at work. Because somebody that's going to do something on this side of the fence is going to also do it on that side of the fence. That's the way character integrity works. And so you somehow have become so avoidant of this interaction that is coming with your sister, that you believe in your guts. You're not even pretending for us. You believe that you have this isolated and contained. You do not. It is all over your business.
I guess probably the reason why I feel like it's somewhat isolated and contained is it happens about once every 3 to 4 years. But when it happens, it's painful. But it's not all the time.
Okay, forget the business section. Forget the business.
Right.
Pretend you all didn't work together. Would you call your sister and say, hey, what's the deal?
Oh, well, that's the problem is our entire lives. You cannot address anything with her. That is.
What kind of relationship is that?
I know. There's 4 girls, and one of us, that's other 3, we can address everything. And then with this one, she will literally physically leave the conversation if it gets hard.
Yeah, she's getting ready to physically leave the building if she works for me.
And by the way, you just put a dollar amount on your relationship with your sister. You said it's about $500,000.
That's what I would lose.
That should cause you significant pause. You just put a dollar amount on the relationship with your sister. There should be no dollar amount on that relationship, period.
So what should she do?
She said to say, hey, can we go out and have a sister-sister conversation? And I would frame it this way. In the past, I have not had this conversation right, so you're going first. I haven't addressed this right, and I need to say some hard things, and I'm afraid you're going to leave. Would you please promise to stay with me here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then say, the last 3 months have been hell here. I did something in our personal life, and you won't talk to me. It comes here. The employees notice it. Can we talk about this? And then she gets to decide whether she wants to be an adult or not.
So do I wait until there's an issue? Because
No.
I don't have an issue.
You don't wait to start your weight loss program until you got the flu. You go and you're healthy.
Okay. So go now, and I would be basically bring in that something that happened like it was probably over a year ago now.
That's fine.
Calendar, but
That's fine.
Bring
Just
it
say,
okay.
This has been bothering me.
Yeah.
And I feel, here's what I would say, okay? And I'll put words in what John's saying if I was taking his advice. I would say, he said for you to go first. So I would say something like, okay, as the leader of this company, I should have addressed this a year ago, and it's been bothering me ever since, and that's my fault. I'm sorry that I didn't bring this to you earlier. I apologize for that. But I am bringing it to you now, and you and I, as team members and as sisters, have to set some new guidelines on how we're going to walk forward at the office. If you want to be mad at me at home and be passive-aggressive, we can deal with that as sisters. When you're working for me at the office, you cannot be passive-aggressive. If you're mad at me from something personal, it cannot show at the office, and it does show, and the other team sees it, and I see it, and there's a chill in the air, and we're not going to do that anymore. I can't live like that. That's how it would sound at my place.
Okay.
And then she gets to decide. But I can tell you this. Here's what'll be strange. If she stays, you've increased the quality of her mental health and her emotional maturity and the quality of your life and the quality of the team, and you'll see an uptick in revenues long-term as a result. If she goes, you will not lose $500,000. You will probably, 4 months later, not even know she was there before. I'm amazed at when people have left here that I thought our world was going to come to an end, and it's really sad that we hardly even noticed.
Yeah, I had to do this with a position I felt like that about, and it was crazy. In 60 days, It was not I was glad I did it.
Yep, and that's what you'll be here. I hope she stays, and I hope you all both grow. But not addressing this is no longer an issue. It's cowardice. You've got to address it.
And then, Dave, you said something so important. Start the conversation with I, not with you.
Exactly.
I messed this up, and we're going to go from there.
That was the advice you just gave. I was following it.
Yeah.
And you're handsome, too. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.